Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a good start to your day. And we're going to talk about a few studies here this morning and waiting for a few people to join us and so that we can say hello and let them know that you're more than welcome. Okay? Let them know that you're more than welcome. We appreciate folks here for sure. Okay, we got some people coming on. Carol from Moncton, New Brunswick. Bonjour. Manette, good morning. Nativity, good morning. Mary from Norwich. And Charles, how is you? Andrea, Niagara Falls. The Kidneys of Canada. Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Nellie. And Maria, good morning. And Janice from Brampton. Jeanette from our staff. Fran, Orangeville. Madeleine, how are you? Bonjour. You get from Hearst, Ontario. Bonjour. Elaine, good morning. Wendy, good morning from Markham. Nick from our staff. And Michelle, and Georgie, Halifax, and Janet, good morning. Frida, how you doing? Jackie, and Gail, Saskatchewan, and another friend from Valcarin, Mara, Sue, Bolton, Donna from Bell Valley, and Guylaine, bonjour. Gary, another one from Bolton, good morning. Wendy from Wasaga. Are we swimming yet? We must be. Marnie, Brahim, good morning from Portland, Oregon. Donna, Catherine, and Darlene, good morning. Keith, how are you, my friend? Jeanette, bonjour. Jackie. Yeah, it's gone that quick. Linda. Where's Robin from Connecticut? Where's Kevin? Good morning, Lynn. How you doing? Laurie from Peterborough. Natalia. Lots of new folks. I haven't seen their names here. Margaret, how are you? And let's say hello to a couple more and we'll get going. Crystal from Alliston. Laurie from Cambridge. Denise, North Bay. And another Denise. How are you? Wendy, Elmer, Karen, Kincardine. Jeanette from Kapuskasing, where Santa Claus lives. Deb in Timmins. April, good morning. Cecilia, good morning. Jackie. Okay. Oh, somebody said Kevin's here. Renee, how are you? From Sudbury. Dale, Waterloo. Zien, bonjour. And Gertie, how are you? I missed you. Somehow, I don't know why. Jody, Stephanie from Georgia. Two Stephanies in a row. How do you like that? Germaine, good morning. And Mona, good morning. Okay, let's get going. Okay, this is a new study on diabetes and its connection to dementia. Okay, and you guys know what I've been telling you for a long, long time, and that is, okay, dementia is diabetes of the brain. Alzheimer's is diabetes of the brain. And you might not even be a diabetic, quote, because your blood sugar isn't high enough for medicine to tell you that you're a diabetic. But that doesn't mean you're not a diabetic. But if you actually get the diagnosis of diabetes, listen to this, brand new study. Getting diabetes before the age of 60 makes you, okay, I'm reading the headline here, 3 times more susceptible to dementia later on in life. 3 times. Okay? What's going on in our society today? I mean, dementia, Alzheimer's. Number 1 killer in the United Kingdom, and number 3 on the hit parade of what will kill you in North America, Canada and the United States. Number 3. Guys, it wasn't even in the top 10 years ago. It wasn't even close to being in the top 10. But today it's crept right up, and I'm telling you, unfortunately, medicine is trying to find a pill. They're trying to find a pill for Alzheimer's. It's been a colossal failure. They haven't even made a dent. And guys, it's because they're looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm telling you. It's not genetics. Oh, my mother had Alzheimer's. My father had Alzheimer's. Does that make me more susceptible? It might make you a little bit more susceptible. But we have to take into consideration our lifestyle. And where do we start? We start in the kitchen. And the problem with diabetes, okay? The problem with diabetes is in our day and age, it's unfortunate, but that's what we wait till we get that diagnosis. And unfortunately, all of medicine waits. Oh, you're not a diabetic? Let me test you again in 6 months. Oh, you're not a diabetic? So nothing happens. Whereas your body has been giving you clues for a long time. The last thing to happen is high blood sugar. Mission control. Okay? Mission control of your body. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body knows that sugar is so toxic. It's so toxic. It can't be left in the bloodstream. It just can't. If you were to empty out your blood right now, all of us, you would find less than a teaspoon of sugar in 5 liters of blood. Your body mission control is to get sugar out of your bloodstream. That's what insulin does. It parks it. It's the traffic cop. So what happens, even though, you have no idea that you're a diabetic, your body is giving you clues. It's trying to tell you, hello, wake up. I used to do this in my office because, again, in my clinic, I could observe. I used to see people with skin tags. Insulin. You have insulin resistance. Very dry skin around the elbows and their feet, even around the ankles. You have insulin resistance. I mean, that's without doing any blood test. That's without even looking at an A1C. Okay? Because your body gives clues. People that would come in with gout, I say, well, it's insulin. You have insulin resistance. Effectively, you really are a diabetic. But your body, like I said, the last thing to happen is blood sugar goes up. So they used to argue with me. Oh, Dr. Martin, it's purines for gout. I said, no. I said, it's not. It's insulin resistance that's creating inflammation. And it's affecting your kidneys. And you can't get rid of uric acid. And it's sitting in your joints. We used to call it the king's disease. Well, the king wasn't because he was eating too much meat. He was drinking too much wine and beer, alcohol. It's effectively a symptom of insulin resistance. Insulin, its cells at the cellular level screaming at insulin, you're always around, you're always around, you're a bad neighbor, I don't like you, get out of here. But insulin says, I don't care if you don't like me or not. If you insist on eating carbohydrates, crappy carbs and sugars, guess what? I'm coming knocking at your door. Knock, 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 let me in. Okay? Let me in. And when you develop insulin resistance at the cellular level, your body creates inflammation. Your body will give you clues that that's happening. Remember we used to have those posters. I probably have one of them around here somewhere. You know, check the engine light. Okay? Check the engine light. When you have sleep apnea, you have sleep apnea. Why do we see so much sleep apnea? You think I saw that in the 1970s in practice? What? Sleep apnea. They got sleep clinics all over the place. It's the body yelling at you. You got a fatty tongue. Never mind a fatty liver. Right? You got a fatty tongue. And, you know, and they give you an oxygen machine. I'm not against that. I'm just telling you that you're looking for love, and it's not. Look, oxygen not going up into the brain, that's a symptom. It's not the problem. You gotta change the diet. It's food. All these new things. So you look at the skin. Look at what it's saying here. The connection between blood sugar and the brain. The connection. Right? It's already diabetes. But it's diabetes without diabetes. Okay? How do you like that? Like I said, your body's so smart, it will control that blood sugar. It will keep it. Mission control is to keep it in a tight range. Doesn't want it to go too low. It doesn't want it to go too high. But a lot of stuff is happening when you force your body to constantly get sugar out of the bloodstream. Insulin resistance. High blood pressure. The vast majority, it's not salt. Don't blame salt for what sugar does. It's not salt. I've been screaming that for 40 years. Salt? Salt's not the problem. Sugar's the other white stuff is the problem. It's not salt. And when they, and how many people in my generation, my parents' generation, I can't have salt. My doctor, my cardiologist. Well, your cardiologist got that wrong. It's not salt, it's sugar. There's nothing that will affect your kidneys. We just talked about gout. There's nothing that will affect your kidneys like sugar affects your kidneys. Because the first thing to happen when blood sugar is elevated is the kidneys don't function properly. If you don't believe me, ask a diabetic. Ask a diabetic. When they're officially diabetic, they know what bad kidneys are like. They know what bad eyes are like. I tell people, you get cataracts, insulin. Macular degeneration, insulin. It's blood supply. It gets damaged. And people don't see the connection. Because, look, one of my pet peeves, okay? And I'm not going to change it, but it's one of my pet peeves. Medicine is so compartmentalized. It's so specialized. Okay? You got eye doctors. You got ear doctors. Ears, nose, and throat. You got kidney doctors. You got bone doctors. You got cardiologists. They're all specialists. Right? And, they're good at their craft. I'm not even saying that. All I'm saying is the problem is they don't put stuff together. They don't see big picture. They don't look at things holistically. And your family medical physician, God bless them. But they're always sending people out to specialists. They wait till you're sick. Instead of you're coming into the office. Look, here's what I used to do, okay? Someone come in the office. First thing I got them to do was pee in a cup. And then I'd say, you see, you got sugar in there. So what's that mean, Doc? Well, it means you really are a diabetic. Even if your blood sugar, because your body's smart. It's trying to get you to eliminate the sugar. You'll pee it out. But you're already in trouble. You've got to change your diet. It's the one thing you can control. High blood pressure. Migraine. How many thousands and thousands? Two things. Migraines. When it was a woman, hormones plus the diet. It was amazing. The body is screaming. Your head is screaming. Okay? Hormones. Look, I got to say this too. There's three things. Okay? I'm sorry. Okay? Blood sugar. Insulin resistance. Water. So often they were dehydrated. Amazing. I used to measure it. And thirdly, hormones. Too much estrogen. I used to tell them right to their face, you're too much of a woman. I tell men that too. Because I test them for their testosterone. You're too much of a woman. You got more estrogen than your wife. How come, Doc? Well, I said you're a bad eater. Guaranteed. You don't eat enough steak. Your testosterone is so low. And you don't get strong. You got to get strong, man. Men, you got to get strong. And you're developing sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting. You got more estrogen than your wife. That's a big problem. Estrogen dominance. But you start with insulin, my friend. I know. I talk about it too much. But when I see a study, early diabetes, before 60, 3 times more likely to develop dementia. Yeah. There's a huge connection between blood sugar insulin and the brain. I don't want to lose my brain, do you? You know, I get people telling me all the time, I want to live till I'm 100. I'm going to live, Dr. Martin, aging. I'm going to beat it. I said, well, be careful what you wish for. And they look at me like I got two heads. I said, well, is your brain going to last that long? No, maybe not. Well, I said, then be careful what you wish for. I'm alive. Yeah, but you don't know what planet you're on. You could be in Mars, the way your brain operates. Isn't that true? You don't want that. Do you want that? Do you want to leave your family with that? You know? No, you don't want that. No, but what do we see today? So if people come in, they had sarcopenia. As soon as I see sarcopenia, I go, you got a problem with insulin. What? I'm skinny. You can be skinny as a rake and not be healthy. You can be skinny as a rake. You don't have a capacity to make fat cells. But that doesn't make you healthy. You got insulin resistance and your muscles are wasting away. And you're going to get osteoporosis. I used to see even men. It was almost unheard of for a man to get osteoporosis. But when I used to see osteoporosis, I said, well, you got problems with insulin, my friend. You've developed sarcopenia. That's why I used to tell people, you need to get strong. Sun, steak, and steel. Coming to a theater near you, by the way. Maybe this week. I don't want to say it because I don't want to disappoint me and you. I've been waiting for a long time. Gout. When you hear people got gout, you tell them Dr. Martin said, you got problem with insulin. You got problem with insulin. You really have diabetes, but without the diagnosis of diabetes. You got problems with blood sugar. It's being controlled within a certain level, but your insulin is not being controlled. Your insulin resistance is creating that. Men, erectile, I should have invested. I'll show you that I'm not a prophet nor the son of one. I should have invested in the little blue pill. Right? I see the commercials on TV. They've been going on for 25 years or more? And here's the solution. The little blue pill. Guys, that gives me a migraine. What? Why so much? Why is it an epidemic today? Why doesn't anybody ask that question? Why? They just give you a pill. I used to tell my men patients, I said, well, you can take the pill, but you're gonna be deaf. It's gonna kill your hearing. And they'd look at me I said, well, you think there's no side effects to those things? I said, why don't we start with your diet? Well, what's the diet got to do, doc, with ED? Everything. Nitric oxide. Blood flow. Insulin will damage blood flow. It starts with the capillaries. Remember your capillaries, guys? Don't take my hair, okay? Don't have enough of it. Take one of yours. And just take out a strand, okay? That's the size of a capillary. first thing that gets damaged is those capillaries. And capillaries are the connection between your arteries and veins. And you need them. And when sugar gets in there, they destroy them. That's why eyeballs. That's why kidneys. That's why men's parts, and even women, your privates, they get affected by microcirculation. What do you think's happening with the prostate? What do you think happens with the prostate? Insulin is a growth hormone. Estrogen is a growth hormone. They make things grow, 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 and they'll grow, grow, grow. What do you think makes cancer grow? Estrogen, insulin. And they'll grow, grow, grow. Yeah, that's why, guys, I know, I got a one-track mind. I do. But I know it sounds simplistic, but it's true. You guys know the truth. We talked about the lies of the dietitians yesterday. The lies of saturated fat is bad. Cholesterol, bad. You know, snacking on granola bars is good. No, you know what granola bars are? It's candy. It's just glorified candy. That's what it is. It's glorified. Granola, Dr. Martin. Granola. I heard it a million. Can I have some granola? I said, did I say you could have candy on the reset? No. Well, that's candy. It's candy. Okay? You can't have it. You got trouble with insulin. What are you eating candy for? Get rid of it. Elimination. Not moderation, elimination. I know, it's tough. Anything worthwhile accomplishing is going to be tough in your life. Going to be tough. Discipline's not easy. I said, yeah, but that's the truth, guys. And the truth will set you free, my friend. Get the truth. Proverbs 23 and 23. Get the truth and never sell it. Now, guys, I know I go against the grain. But I'm telling you, really important. Okay, did I get excited today or what? Okay. Yeah, I did. I did get excited, but I like it. I like getting excited. I get my workout before I work out with you guys. Okay. Like I said, hopefully this week, this is the week for that book, I think. Okay? Stay tuned. Breathe. Okay. And what is Friday? What's every Friday? Question and answer Friday. So get your questions in. Okay? We always have fun. You know what Question and Answer Friday reminds me of? The radio show I did for 20 years. Open line. Okay? It was an open line. I didn't screen the questions ahead of time. And we had fun, and I still have fun today with Question and Answer Friday. Okay? So send in your questions. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay? Hey, guys, have I told you lately that I love you? I think that's a song. But I do. We appreciate you guys so much. What an audience. The smartest, I mean it, health audience, anywhere, I'd put you up against anyone. Okay, guys, we love you. Talk to you soon.